And good morning. So as part of previous session, we started discussing about Windows functions. So within the Windows functions, we discussed about rank function. So what is the purpose of rank? To find out rank based on a particular column, we can use rank function. And what is the syntax of rank? We can give it as rank of, just we have to give the over clause. Within the over clause, we can able to specify the column name by using the order by clause, order by our column name. Now, if I'm given the ascending, what will happen? It will give ranks from lowest value to highest value. And for example, if I'm giving it as a rank of over, order by column name descending order, then what will happen? It will give the ranks from highest values to lowest values. So whenever you want to get the ranks from the lowest value to highest value, we have to give it as ascending order. If you want to get the rank values based on the column values from highest to lowest, then we can able to go for the order by column name in the descending order. In the same way, if you want to find out rank for a particular partition, then what we can do? Here we are going to use the one more clause or one more keyword called as a partition by, which is nothing but, so same syntax we are going to use, but here we need to apply rank over partition by column name. Then we need to add the order by column name. So these are all the topics we covered as part of our previous session, and how we can able to use the rank function. What is the syntax of the rank function? Within the rank function, how we can able to give the partition by and how we can able to give the order by. So these are all the different topics we covered as part of our previous session. Okay. Now in the same way, actually in the BigQuery or in the MySQL also, we are having the one more function called as a dense rank function. So this is also one more window functionality. So we are having the function called as a dense rank function. So here we can able to say like this, both rank and dense rank are going to work in same way. So what is going to happen here? Both rank function and dense rank function, both are going to work in the same way. Only difference is if column is having duplicate values. If column is having duplicate values, in that situation, rank and dense rank will give different kind of results. So what I'm telling here, functionality wise, both rank and dense rank are going to work in the same way. Only difference is nothing but here, if that column is having any duplicate values, and in that situation, rank is going to give one kind of output and dense rank is going to give the one more kind of output. Indirectly, we can able to say rank is equal to dense rank. So when we can give this statement, if column is not having any duplicate values, whatever the column we are using for the rank function or whatever the column we are using for the dense rank function, if that column is not having any duplicate values, in that situation we can able to say rank is equal to dense rank. Both are going to give the same kind of output, but we can able to say I'm going to give the statement rank is not equal to dense rank. So when rank is not equal to dense rank. So when we can able to give the statement, if column is having any duplicate values, in the situation, rank is going to give one kind of output and dense rank is going to provide the one more kind of output. This is the way simply we can able to understand how rank is going to work and how dense rank is going to work. And just we'll see one example. With that, we can able to get a clear picture.
Sir, sorry to disturb. Actually, I have missed, I think so, joined late. So if all columns are only one particular column having
only particular column. So what I'm telling here, I'm telling the all columns or if a column only. So generally when we are going to apply the rank function, we are going to apply the rank function on top of a particular column. So on top of that particular column, if you are having the duplicate values, then it is going to give the different kind of result. I will give one example for that reason. So by seeing the example, you can able to get a clear picture.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay. Just 1 second. Now, for example, this is the data we are having. Now I'm going to write the query like this. What I'm doing here is I'm giving it as a select EID comma, ename comma, salary comma. Here I'm giving the rank function. In the rank function, I'm giving it as rank over order by sal descending order. Here I'm giving alias name is, for example, R1, comma. Here I'm giving dense rank function, dense rank over order by sal descending order. I'm giving alias name is, for example, R2 from EMP table. So for example, this is the query I'm writing. In the same query, what I'm doing here, I am going to use the rank function. At the same time, I'm going to use the dense rank function. Now, if I'm going to run this query, what will happen? It will give data for EID column, ename column, salary column, and we are going to get the R1 column and we are going to get the R2 column. Now, as part of this example, in R1, what we are doing? We are applying the rank function. Coming to R2, what we are doing? We are applying the function called as a dense rank function. Now, actually on top of which column we are applying the rank function or dense rank function? We are applying it on the salary column only. Now, what is going to happen? It is going to verify data in the salary column. But if you observe here, in this salary column, do we have any duplicate values? No. For that reason, what will happen here? Rank function and dense rank function, both are going to give the same kind of output. But tell me, for highest value, it will give the best rank, or for lowest value, it will give the best rank. What we applied? Order by salary descending order, which is nothing but what is going to happen here. For highest value, it will give the best rank. For lowest value, it is give the highest rank, which is nothing but you are going to get the output data like this. So in the output, you are going to get total 5 columns. In the 5 columns, we are going to get EID column, ename column, and salary column. But coming to R1, what is the function we applied here? Rank function. Because of using the rank function, your data is going to provide the output as a rank values. But here we given the order by salary descending. For that reason, what will happen? Your data will be taking in the descending order. For highest value, it will go for first rank. Next, second rank, third rank, fourth rank, fifth, sixth, and seventh. This is the way you are going to get the output for the rank values. What about the dense rank condition? Coming to dense rank, as I told you earlier, rank and dense rank both are going to work in the same way. But when it is going to work in the same way, if it is not having the duplicate values, here we are applying the dense rank on top of your salary column. Again, we are applying it as a descending order. For that reason, again, what will happen? Here also we are getting output as a same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Indirectly, if you observe, R1 and R2 all are given the same rank values only, because we are applying the rank function and dense rank function on top of the salary column, and salary column is not having any kind of duplicate values. For that reason, this query will give R1 and R2 result. In the R1, we applied the rank. In the R2, we applied the dense rank. Even though what will happen, we are going to get the same rank values because salary column is not having any kind of duplicates. Okay. Now see, for example, I am going to write the same query. In this query, what I'm doing here is I am adding salary comma department ID. Just observe what is the modification I'm doing here is Here I'm giving order by department ID column. For example, just for example, what I'm doing here in the order by class, I'm given the department ID column. And in this example, in the order by class, what we given? We given the salary. But in this example, in the order by class, I'm given the department ID. Indirectly in this query, based on which column we are finding the rank or dense rank values? Based on salary column. But in the second query, what I did here in the order by class, I given it as a department ID column. Indirectly in this query, on top of which column we are going to find the rank or dense rank values, Andy? On top of your department ID column. Now you try to give the answer. If I am going to run this query, what is the output we are going to get? So what is the output we are going to get? We are going to get data for EID, E-name, salary, and also just we added the one extra column called as a department ID column. After that, we are going to get R1 column and R2 column. So like this, we are going to get data for all these columns, Andy. But here, what is going to happen? We are applying the rank function and dense rank function on top of your department ID column. For that reason, your data will populate like this here. So based on department ID column, your data is going to take all the values internally like this, Andy. Now we given the department ID descending order. Internally, what will happen? Your data is sorting based on the department ID column. With that, it is going to provide the rank values. Now in the department ID, what is the highest value? 30. For that reason, for this we are getting output as a 1. Now what is the next highest value? 20. So here we are getting value as a 2. Now what about next 20? Now tell me in the department ID column, do we have the duplicate records or not? We are having the duplicate record. So for that reason, what will happen? For this 20, it is going to give the rank value. But what will happen here is, it is going to provide the duplicate rank values like this, Andy. But why it is given the duplicate rank values? Because my rank column is having the duplicate values. In this example, on top of which column we are applying the rank function? On the department ID column. In the department ID column, we are having the duplicate rank values. For that reason, it is going to give the duplicate rank values like 2, 2, 2. But try to give the answer. Now for 10, what is the output it is going to provide? Any guesses?
5.
It is going to give output as a 5. Indirectly, what is happening here? Because of having the duplicate rank values, Andy, it is skipping the ranks. What is the meaning of the skipping the rank here? Here it is giving 2, 2, 2. Actually, here we need to get the value called as a 3. But instead of getting it as a 3, what is happening here? It is skipping the rank values. Which values it is skipping? It is skipping 3. It is skipping 4. After that, we are getting the value called as a 5, 5, 5. But when all these things are happening, whenever your rank column is having the duplicate values, in that situation, it is going to give the output like this, Andy. Wherever we are having the duplicate values, there we are going to get the duplicate rank values. At the same time, it is going to skip the ranks. With that, we are going to get the output. But when it is happening, if you are given the rank function, but just try to understand, same query we are running for the dense rank also. Now in the dense rank, what will happen here is, you given the order by DID descending order, it is giving value as a highest value 1. Now what about 20? It is giving 2, 2, 2. Up to here, everything is same in the dense rank also. But coming to dense rank function, what it will do here is, it is not going to skip the rank values, and instead of skipping the rank values, it is given the continuous values like this. Now try to understand what is the difference here. Here we are getting it as a rank values, but because of having the duplicates, it is skipping the rank values. We are getting output as a 1, 2, 2, 2. Then we are getting values as a 5, 5, 5. But coming to here, we are getting 1. For duplicate values, we are going to get the same rank. But after that, it is not skipping any values, and it is not skipping our rank values. Instead of that, it is going to give the continuous values like this. It is giving values as a 1, 2, 2, 2. Then it is giving values as a 3, 3, 3. This is the way we are going to get the data. Now you tell me, in this example, rank function and dense rank function, both are given the same output or both are given the different outputs? Both are given the different outputs, and because here we are getting it as a 5, 5, 5, but here we are getting values as a 3, 3, 3. Indirectly, rank function and dense rank function, both are going to give the different kind of output because our rank column is having the duplicate values in this example. Please understand, in this example, we are applying the rank and dense rank on top of your salary column. But in this example, we are applying the rank and dense rank on top of the department ID column. Why we are doing like that? Just for understanding, if we are having the duplicate values, how it is working internally, to understand that, I applied the rank and dense rank on top of the department ID column. In this example, salary column is not having any duplicate values. For that reason, rank and dense rank both are going to give the same kind of output only. But in this example, we are applying the rank and dense rank on top of your department ID column. Department ID column is having the duplicate values. For that reason, rank and dense rank, it is going to give the different output on top of your output screen. But tell me, in this whole example, we are telling that if we are having the duplicate values, we are going to get the different kind of output. But it is considering the duplicate values on the single column, or it is going to consider duplicate values in the combination of multiple columns. It is considering duplicate values based on the columns what we are giving in the rank function. In this example, I am giving for how many columns? Only one column, which is nothing but it is going to verify the duplicate values only in the department ID column. Based on that, it will populate the rank values and dense rank values. And this is the way we need to understand how rank and dense rank are going to work differently when we are having the duplicates, and how it is going to work same way when we don't have the duplicates. All these are the things we need to understand as part of our rank and dense rank functions. Okay, any questions up here, please ask me. Just I will add those statements here.
So by combination two columns as well, we can decide the rank.
So for example, so someone is asking the question, can we be able to give the combination of multiple columns? So obviously we can able to give it. Tell me, in the order by class, can we be able to pass the more than one column or not? Definitely, yes, we can able to pass, but that is by depending on your requirement only. If you are having any such kind of requirement, for example, just I'm giving the example, you want to find out the rank values in the combination of salary column and department ID column, then what I can do? Just I can give it as a order by sal descending order, comma, department ID descending order. This is the way you can able to pass your order by clause. But tell me, in this example, it is going to verify duplicate records in the combination of how many columns? In this example, in the combination of two columns, and indirectly you can able to get the rank values or dense rank values based on the combination of multiple columns also. But whatever the examples or whatever the statements we discussed earlier, as part of verifying the duplicate records, it is going to consider all the columns whatever we are passing in the order by clause. In this example, it is considering only department ID column. But in this example, it is going to consider both salary column and department ID column. Based on that, it is going to give the data on top of your output screen. Okay, here I can able to say, while using rank function, if rank column is having any duplicates, what is going to happen? It will populate duplicate rank values by skipping the ranks or without skipping the ranks? By skipping the ranks. And what is the meaning of skipping here? It is nothing but in this example, it is giving 1, 2, 2, 2. After that, it is skipping the 3 and 4. Then it is giving the value as a 5, which is nothing but it is going to give the duplicate rank values by skipping the ranks. But here we can able to say, while using dense rank, what is going to happen? If dense rank column is having any duplicates, it will populate the same duplicate rank values without skipping any ranks. What is the meaning of without skipping the ranks? And here indirectly it is giving 1, 2, 2, 2. After that, it is given the value as a 3, 3, 3. Without skipping any rank values, it is going to give the data. This is the way simply we can able to understand what is the purpose of the rank and what is the dense rank, and how it is working same way when we don't have the duplicate records, how it is working differently when we are having the duplicate records. All these are the things we need to understand as part of discussing about our Windows function. Rank is one of the Windows function and dense rank is the one more window function. These are the things we need to understand as part of using our rank and dense rank. Okay, any questions up to here? Okay, if no questions, see here. Now, for example, either salary column or department ID column is having some kind of duplicate values only. Now, my requirement is, even we are having the duplicate values, I don't want to get the duplicate values like this here. I want to get the continuous sequence values like this. What I want to do here, I want to populate data for just I will take one more example here. I want to populate data like this. Now I want to populate data for one more column called as a, for example, R3 column. In this R3 column, even we are having the duplicate values in the department ID, I want to get the sequence values like this. Now tell me, in this example, can we go for rank function? Here my requirement is based on the department ID, I want to perform this operation. But while performing this operation based on the department ID column, what is my requirement? I want to populate the continuous sequence values only. Now tell me, this value you want to populate or you want to retrieve from the table? This value I want to populate as per my requirement by using the SQL query. Now, by depending on the department ID column values, I want to populate the R3 column values. In this R3 column, I want to populate continuous sequence values like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the way I want to populate the data. Now, you tell me, as part of this example, to populate the data for R3 column, can we able to use the rank function? If you are using the rank, what is going to happen? We are getting output as a 1, 2, 2, 2, 5, 5, 5. This is the way we are going to get the output. Can we go for the dense rank? No, in the dense rank also, we are getting it as a duplicate rank values only. But my requirement is, even department ID column is having the duplicate values. My requirement is, I want to populate all the sequence values like this. Whenever you are having this kind of requirement, here what we can do is, we are introducing one more function called as a row number function. So what we are doing here, we are going to use the one more function called as a row number function. With the help of the row number function, simply we can able to say, whenever you want to populate sequence values, then we can use row number function. As per the requirement, whenever you want to populate the sequence values only, then what we can do here, then simply we are going to use the function called as a row number function. Now you try to give the answer. Can we able to say row num is equal to rank is equal to dense rank? Is it the correct statement or wrong statement? Wrong statement, no possibility. See, for example,
without
if column
duplicates,
is not having duplicates, then what will happen? Whatever the column we are going to use, for example, in this example, instead of department ID column, I'm going to use the salary column. What is going to happen? In the salary column, do we have any duplicates? No. For that reason, if I'm going to use the rank, what will happen? It is giving 1 to 7. If I'm given the dense rank, it is giving 1 to 7. If you are going to use the row number by default, what will happen? It is given the 1 to 7. Indirectly, we can able to say rank, dense rank and row number all are going to work in the same way. But when it is going to work in the same way, if column is not having any duplicate values, then it is going to work in the same way. But we can able to say row num not equal to rank not equal to dense rank. So when we can able to give this statement, if column is having any duplicates. If column is having the duplicate values, rank is given the output like this. Rank 2, so dense rank is given the output like this. But what about the row number function? Even we are having the duplicates or even we are not having the duplicates only, by default, if we are going to use the row number function, it is going to populate the values as the same sequence values only. That is the way we need to understand what is the difference between again rank and dense rank and row number. Now just I will frame the query here. I'm adding row number function, I'm giving it as over order by department ID descending as R3. So this is the way in the same query I'm using the one more function called as a row number function. Now if you are given the row number function, it is going in the total 3 different columns R1, R2, R3. By seeing this output, you can able to understand what are the different values we are going to get on top of your output screen. Okay. And one more important thing, Andy, as part of doing the practice on top of these window functions, please run all these queries in your BigQuery. Because in MySQL, we are having different types of syntaxes. Functionality wise or internally working wise, everything is common. And in the MySQL, in the BigQuery, we are having the same kind of window functions. But in the MySQL and BigQuery, our syntax is a little bit different as part of using our window function or dense rank function or row number function. But in our class, whatever the example we are discussing, all these examples are going to run in the BigQuery without having any kind of issues. But if you want to do the same practice in the MySQL, what need to happen? You have to do some kind of little bit changes on the syntax. But functionality wise, concept wise, everything is same. Only thing is nothing but as part of writing the query, we need to change the syntaxes little bit. That's the reason I'm giving the heads up to you. If you want to do the practice on all these queries, where you have to perform the practice for these queries, you need to run on the BigQuery. Please run on all these queries on the BigQuery, then it will work without having any issues. But if you want to run the same queries in the MySQL, just you have to perform some minor changes in the syntax. With that, you can able to run all these queries on top of your MySQL database. Okay. And what I will do here is, just I will run that query in the BigQuery and just I will show you from the BigQuery. Just few seconds only. So it is refreshing my BigQuery console. So for example, just I'm giving the query called as employee underscore main table. This is the one of the table we created in the previous class only. Okay, so in this table, we are having the data like this. So we are having the DID column and we are having the same salary column, whatever we discussed so far. Just what I will do here is I will take the same queries from this Excel and I will run it once. Okay, so in the same example, I will add the row number also. So with that, at a time, we can able to cover all the three topics. What is the table name here? I need to give it as a sample qt dot employee underscore main. Okay, so this is the query. So whatever the query we discussed in the Excel, same query I have copy pasted here and so we are having the rank function, we are having the dense rank function, we are having the row number function. Now if you observe here, we are running all these functions on top of which column? On top of the salary column. And if you observe here in the salary column, we don't have any kind of duplicate values and just for understanding purpose, what I'm doing here is I will add the order by clause at the end of the query, order by salary descending. Now I am going to run this query here. Okay. Now, if you observe here, in the R1, we are using the rank function. In the R2, we are using the dense rank function. In the here we haven't given the alias name, but just assume this is the R3 column only. In all these three columns, what is the output we are getting? Same output or different output? We are getting the same output. Why we are getting the same output? Because salary column is not having any duplicate values. For that reason, you are going to get the same output into your R1 column and R2 column and also to your R3. This is the way simply we can understand how we can able to frame the query by using rank and dense rank and row number. Now what I'm doing here is I will take the same query. Now in this query, what I'm doing is I'm adding the department ID column in the select statement. At the same time, I am adding department ID column into the rank function, into dense rank, and into row number, and here also. Okay. Now just I'm trying to run this query. So I'm running the same query. Just instead of running it on the salary column, we are running it on the department ID column for our understanding only. Just we'll run it once. Now see what's happening. In the department ID column, we are performing the rank, dense rank, and row number. Now in the department ID column, do we have the duplicates or not? We are having the duplicate values. That's the reason. Coming to R1, we are applying the rank function. So what's out we are getting? 1, 2, 2, 2. Then we are getting the values as a 5, 5, 5, which is nothing but it is skipping the rank values. In the same way, coming to dense rank, we are given the alias name as a R2. Here, what is happening? We are getting values as a 1, 2, 2, 2. Then without skipping the rank values, we are getting output as a 3, 3, and 3. Now coming to row number function, row number also we are applying on the department ID only, but even department ID column is having the duplicate values only. It is not giving any duplicate values. What is happening here? It is given the output values as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the way simply we can able to understand how it is given the data for rank and dense rank and row number if that column is going to contain the duplicate values. Okay, we are not doing anything only. Whatever the example I discussed on the Excel sheet, same example we are running in the BigQuery console. With that, just I'm trying to show you how we are going to get the data on top of your output screen. Okay, still if anyone having the questions up to here, please ask me. No questions? Okay, well and good. If no questions, we'll try to see one more example. And if you observe here, now my requirement is I want to get the output like this. In the output, I want to get data for EAD column and ename column and salary column. Now here I want to get data for one more column is sal underscore x. What is the requirement? I want to get data for one more column called as a sal underscore x. And in this sal underscore x, my requirement is I want to get sum of all these values, which is nothing but I want to get output like this, 28,000. In all the records, I want to populate the value as a 28,000. Indirectly, in this sal underscore x, I want to get the total salary value only. But I want to get the total salary value and I want to append that total salary value for each and every row in our table. How many rows we are having in the table? Total 7 rows. For every row, I want to get the values as a 28,000, 28,000, 28,000. This is the way I want to get the data on top of my output. Now, for example, I want to get total underscore sal. Now, if you want to get the total salary as a 28,000, what is the query we can able to prepare? I want to get the small output like this. In the output, I want to get only one column. In this column, I want to get output as a 28,000. In that situation, what is the query we can able to prepare simply? Just to give it as select sum of sal as total underscore sal from EMP table. So with this, what we can do simply we can able to get the output for single column. In the single column, we are getting output as a 28,000. But here, what is my requirement? I want to get the 28,000. At the same time, I want to display data for all the remaining columns. I want to get data for all the records. For every record, I want to display the total value as a 28,000. This is my requirement, Andy. Now, in this situation, can I able to frame the query like this? Just observe. I'm giving it as select EAD, ename, sal, department ID. Now, can I able to write the query like this to get this output? I want to get EAD column, ename column, salary column, and I want to get the sal underscore x column also. For that reason, in the select statement, what I'm doing here is I'm adding all these columns and now try to give the answer. Can we able to run the query like this? Or if I'm going to run this query, what is going to happen? If I'm going to run this query, what will happen? Very simple. This query will throw the syntax error. What's the reason? Any guesses?
No, it's aggregation.
Here we are using the aggregate function. Other than aggregate functions, we are using some extra columns, and whenever we are using this kind of extra columns, compulsory we have to pass all these columns into group by class. Otherwise, what will happen? That query will throw the syntax error. Now, to overcome the syntax error, what I'm doing here is I'm giving it as a group by EAD, ename, sal, department ID column. Now tell me, if I'm going to execute this query, what will happen? First question, query will execute or not?
It will execute.
Query will execute. Next question, this query will give how many records in the output?
Minimal, not all the 7.
Group by EAD, ename, sal, department ID. If I'm going to run this query, how many records we are going to get in the output?
All the records.
What is the meaning of group by department ID? It is checking the similar group values only in the department ID column. But here we are applying the group by in the combination of all the columns and which is nothing but it is trying to find out the groups in the combination of single column or in the combination of multiple columns. Obviously in the combination of multiple columns, and in the combination of multiple columns here, do we have any groups? Here I can able to say
no.
This is a separate group. All these are nothing but indirectly called as a individual groups, and because we don't have any kind of duplicate values, for that reason every record is going to consider it as a individual group. After that, in every group it is going to perform the sum operation. Now in this group, what is the sum of the salary? We are getting output as a 1,000. Second record 2,000. So like that we are going to get the data. Now finally we are getting output as a, this is the way we are going to get the output. We are going to get EID, ename, sal, and here we are getting it as a sal underscore x. Okay, so this is the way this query will execute. But here we are going to get the output as a all the records we are going to get in the output screen. And why we are getting all the records only? Because we are applying the group by, and in the group by we are applying the multiple columns. And whenever we are given the multiple columns, what is going to happen? It is trying to find out the groups in the combination of multiple columns. Here we don't have any kind of similar groups, and for that reason every record is going to consider it as a individual group. In that individual group, it is going to perform the summing operation. For that reason, you are going to get the output like this. Okay, don't ask me what is the group by class or how it is working, Andy. Already we discussed about the similar example multiple times in the previous classes. Because of given the multiple columns in the group by class, it is giving all the records in the output. For every group, it is going to perform the summing operation. With that, we are going to get this kind of result. But as per my requirement, you want to get the values like this or you want to get the values like this? I want to get, for every record, I want to get the total salary as a 28,000, 28,000, 28,000, 28,000. This is the way I want to get the data, Andy. Now, to achieve this kind of requirement, here we cannot able to apply the normal sum function. We are going to use the sum function only, but we cannot able to apply the normal sum function. For that reason, what we are going to do here is, we will use sum function in the combination of window functions. So what I'm doing here, for the purpose of achieving this requirement, for every record, I want to get the total salary into the separate column. We are having the 7 records. For every record, I want to get value as a 28,000, 28,000, 28,000. Like that, I want to get the value. Whenever we are having such kind of requirement, what we are doing here, we are going to use the sum function, but only we are not going to use the sum function. What we are doing here, we are using the sum function in the combination of the Windows function. With that, automatically we can able to achieve the requirement. Okay, this is one requirement. If you observe the same thing, I want to get one more output like this. Now in this output, my requirement is I want to sum up current record with previous record. What is the requirement here? In this requirement, I want to sum up only current record plus previous record, and I don't want to get the sum of all the records. I want to sum up current record with previous records. Now you tell me, as per the requirement, here what is the data we are expecting? For first record, what you want to get? Do we have any previous record?
1000.
No. For that reason, I want to get output as a 1000. What about next one?
3000.
I want to get output as a 3000. Next one, current record plus previous record. So I want to get output as a 5000. Next one, 7000. Next one, 9000. Next one, 11,000. Next one, I want to get output as a 13,000. This is the way I want to get the data. Now you tell me again, here can we be able to get this kind of output only by using the sum function? That is also not possible. That's the reason for these kind of requirements also, we are going to use the sum function in the combination of the window function only, because here you want to perform the summing operation for not all the records. You want to do the summing operation for particular records. For first record, current record with previous record. Second record, current record with previous record. Third record, current record with previous record. Like that, for every record, I want to sum up with the only previous record. For that reason, here directly we cannot able to use the sum function. Instead of that, what we are doing, we are going to use the sum function in the combination of the window function. With that, we can able to achieve our requirement. Okay, in the same way, I want to get the one more output like this. Here my requirement is, I want to sum up current record plus previous record plus previous record. Now tell me, as part of this requirement, what is the output we are expecting? You want to sum up with what? Current record with only one previous record or previous two records? I want to sum up with the two records only. So for that reason, for first record, what's the value we need to get? Same 1000. Next record, 2000. Previous record, but we don't have any previous record. So I want to get value as a 3000 only. What about this one? Third record, what's the value we need to get? We need to get value as a 6000. What about next record? Current record, previous record, previous record, which is nothing but we need to get output as a 9000. Next one, 12,000. Next one is 15,000. And next one is 18,000. So this is the way I want to get the data. Indirectly, here we are discussing about one kind of requirement. Here we are discussing about one more kind of requirement. Here we are going to discuss about some other kind of requirement only. In the first requirement, what I'm telling, I want to get sum of all the records in every record. That is the requirement. Second requirement, for every record, I want to sum up current record with only the previous record. In the third example, I'm saying that I want to sum up current record with previous record and previous record. Like that, we are going to have the different kind of the requirements here. But if you observe here, out of all these requirements, what is the common thing? Out of all the requirements, what is the common thing?
Current record.
We are doing summing operation for a particular window. Will you agree or not? We are performing the summing operation for a particular window only, which is nothing but here we are doing the summing operation for all the records. In this example, we are doing the summing operation for only current record with previous record. In this example, we are doing summing operation for current record plus previous record. Like that, we are defining a window for how many records we want to perform the summing operation. That window we are defining. With that, we are performing the summing operation. To perform these kind of operations, what we are doing, we are going to use the sum function in the combination of the window functions, and with that, easily we can able to achieve all these kind of requirements. Okay. Any questions up to here, please ask me. Try to understand why we are using the same sum function by using the window function, and with that, I can able to explain what is the syntax we need to provide as part of writing our SQL statements. Okay.
So
please.
Yeah, it's the same logic like Excel sheet only, right? We are using here.
Yeah, same logic only. So whatever the example we are discussing, same thing we are going to replicate by using the window functions and the combination of sum functions.
So Windows function we are using here, the combination means by only the order by the particular.
That columns. I will tell you. Just wait for a few minutes. I will tell you the syntax.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now see. So what we'll do here is simply we are going to write the query like this, and we are going to give it as a select EAD comma ename comma salary comma. Now in the sal underscore x, I want to perform the window operation. For that reason, we are giving it as a sum of sal. Up to here, everything is common. After that, we are going to give the over statement. And the over statement, we are giving it as a order by sal. If you see in our example, only here all the salary values in the ascending order or descending order. In this example, in the Excel sheet, In the Excel sheet, all the values are in the ascending order. That's the reason here I'm giving it as a ascending. Now you tell me, for example, if I am going to give it as a descending order here, are we going to get the same output or we are going to get the different output here? We are going to get the different output. Then what will happen here? If I'm given the descending order, what is the first record? 7,000 is the first record. Then automatically here all the values are going to change. But just by considering the Excel sheet example, here what I'm giving it as a order by salary, ascending order. After that, here what we are doing is we are going to add rows between unbounded, preceding and unbounded following. Then here I'm giving alias name is sal underscore x from EMP table. This is the way we have to frame the query, and I will explain this query in the notepad. Okay, if you observe here, this is the query we are going to write for the purpose of achieving the requirement. And if you observe here in this query, what is the function we are using? We are using the same sum function, but just what we are adding extra here, we are adding the extra called as a window related keywords. And what are the keywords we are using here? If you observe, I am given the order by salary ascending order. After that, we are specifying that rows between, next what I am giving here, unbounded preceding and unbounded following. I am giving unbounded preceding and I am giving unbounded following. If you observe, newly what we are introducing only 3 new keywords, and which is nothing but one is unbounded, other one is preceding, and other one is nothing but following. So we are introducing the 3 different keywords here: unbounded, preceding, and following. Now you try to give the answer. Any guesses? What is the meaning of preceding here? What is the meaning of the preceding?
Before, previous.
With the current record. With the current record, how many previous records you want to consider as part of doing the summing operation? For example, for the current record, I want to take the only previous one record. Then what we can do here, instead of preceding, we are going to give the value as a 1 here. So what I'm doing here, we are going to give the preceding value as a 1. Now, for example, I want to do the summing operation for current record with the previous record with the previous record. Then what is the value we need to give here? How many previous records you want to consider now? 2. So then we have to give it as a 2. For example, with the current record, I want to consider previous 3 records only. Then what we can do? We have to give the value called as a 3. Indirectly, by depending on your requirement, you have to define preceding 1 or preceding 2 or preceding 3. That is the way we can able to give the value for the preceding. Now, for example, here I'm giving it as a 0. What it means? Which is nothing but it will take only the current record. It is not taking the previous record or previous record, because I am giving this value as a 0 only. What is the meaning of 0? It will consider only the current record. In the same way, you try to give the answer. Any guesses? What is the meaning of following? What is the meaning of following? With the current record, if you want to do the sum up with the next record only, so far we are discussing about summing current record with the previous record. Whenever you want to sum with the previous record, we are giving it as a preceding. For example, if you want to sum up with the current record with the next record, then what we can do here? We are going to use the keyword called as a following keyword. For example, I am giving it as a 1. Now tell me what's the meaning of 1? Which is nothing but current record plus next record. For example, I want to sum up current record with next record and next record. 2 next records I want to sum up. Then what we can do? We need to give this following value as a 2. Like that, by depending on our requirement, we are going to define the preceding values and we are going to define the following values, and with that we can able to frame the query. Now, for example, see here, I'm given the requirement sum with current record and previous one record. Now tell me, what is the change we need to perform in this query? Rows between, instead of given the unbounded, now what I will do here is I want to sum up both the only previous one record. I'm giving it as a 1 preceding. What is the meaning of 1 preceding? It is taking 1 previous record. That 1 previous record you want to sum up with the only current 1 record. So for that reason, here I'm giving it as a 0 following. What it means indirectly? It is taking 0 following is nothing but it is taking the current record. What is the meaning of 1 preceding, and it is taking the 1 previous record. With that, it is going to perform the summing operation. In the same way, I will give one more requirement. You try to give the answer.
Sir, sorry. Actually, what exactly unbounded means?
That I will tell you. So actually, if you observe here in this query, I am using unbounded.
No.
No, right?
Actually, you are using
So,
the numbering.
Yeah, for some requirements, we need to go for the unbounded. So far,
Okay.
we didn't discuss about the unbounded. So just wait for a few minutes. We'll discuss about unbounded also. Okay. Now see, I want my requirement is I want to sum with the current record and previous two records. Then sum up with current record with the previous two records. So what we can do? Just here we have to give it as a 2 preceding and 0 following. With that, you can able to sum up with the current record with previous two records. And in the same way, my requirement is I want to sum with current record and previous two records and next two records. See here, just understand the requirement. Sum with current record with previous two records and next two records. Two preceding and two following. Okay. If you are given the two preceding, it will take the previous two records. If you are given the two following, it will take the next two records. And by default, it will take the current record. And with that, what will happen here in this example? It is considering current record plus two previous records plus two following records. So this is the way indirectly by depending on our requirement, simply we have to define the how many number of previous records you want to consider by using the preceding keyword, how many number of next records you want to consider by using the following keyword. With that, we can able to do all the operations. And indirectly by using this statement, what we are defining? You are defining the window within which window you want to perform the summing operation. That is the thing I'm telling earlier, Andy. We are going to apply the sum in the combination of the window keywords. With that, you can able to perform all these kind of operations on top of our database set or on top of our BigQuery. Here also we are defining window by using this. Here also we are defining window by using this. Indirectly, we are going to define the window by using the preceding and by using the following keywords. And now, if you observe, now in this example, what we can do? Current record plus previous record. So what we can do here? We are going to give 2 preceding and 0 following. Will you agree or not? Current record with previous two records. So we are giving it as a 2 preceding and 0 following. What about this one? Current record plus previous record. So what we can do? 1 preceding and 0 following. Okay, all these are fine. Now what about this one? What about this requirement? This is fine. Hope you understood by using the preceding following. And hope this is also fine by using the preceding and following. We are referring the previous two records or previous one record by depending on our requirement. All these are fine. But what about this requirement?
Only following.
Only following. Following how many records?
Plus all following.
All the records.
How to specify all following?
Sum of.
Can I able to? So actually, what I'm telling, you have to specify either 1 preceding or 2 preceding or 10 preceding. That is the way only we have to define the preceding or following. We have to give the integer value. But here my requirement is I want to sum up current record with all the records. Again, this record, current record with all the records. How we can able to specify the all the records? For that reason only, we are going to use the unbounded. Earlier, someone is asking the question, right? What is the purpose of unbounded? And unbounded is nothing but by default, it is going to consider all the records. And if you take this record, what it will do? It will take this record, all the records. This record, all the records. Fourth record, all the records. For every record, it is going to consider all the previous records and also it is going to consider all the following records. And whenever you want to define all the previous records or all the following records, in the situation, we can able to give the keyword called as a unbounded keyword. Now, for example, if I'm going to give like this, instead of preceding, I'm giving it as a unbounded preceding and unbounded following. Now tell me what is going to happen indirectly. For preceding, what I'm telling, take all the previous records. For following also what I'm telling, take all the next records. Indirectly, I want to consider all the records previously, all the records are next values. And with that, you can able to get the output. Indirectly, whenever you want to get this kind of output, by summing all the records, then what we can do here, then we can able to go for the unbounded preceding and unbounded following. But if you want to define the particular window, then what we can do here, we are going to remove the unbounded. Instead of unbounded, we are going to specify 1 or 2 or 3 by depending on our requirement. Now, in the same way, just I will give one more query here. You try to give the answer. I am giving unbounded preceding and zero following. Now tell me what will happen. Now tell me here, what is the output we are going to get? I'm giving unbounded preceding and zero following. What it means? Unbounded preceding. What is the meaning of unbounded? It is considering all the previous records only. For first record, do we have any previous records? No. We are getting output as a simply 1000. What about next one?
10,000.
Zero following is nothing but only current record with all the previous records. So what is going to happen here? We are getting it as a 3000. Next one? 6,000. Next one? 10,000. Next one? 15,000. So this is the way simply we are going to get the data on top of your output. Current record with all the previous records. Whenever you want to do the summing operation with current record with all the previous records only, then simply we can give it as a unbounded preceding and zero following. With that, we can able to handle the requirement. That's the reason I'm saying that it's very simple thing. Only thing is nothing but you need to understand about these three only: preceding, unbounded, and following. Except that we are not introducing any new terminology as part of this entire example. Preceding is nothing but if you want to sum up previous values, we have to give the preceding. If you want to sum up with the following values, we have to give it as a following. If you don't want to specify any number of previous values or any number of the following values, then what we can do here, we can give it as a unbounded. This is the way, by using these three keywords, we can able to handle our sum operation with window functionality. Now might be you will get the question, sir, in the real time where we are going to use this kind of things. Any guesses?
Yeah, for calculation report.
I can able to say as part of banking applications or as part of your banking projects only, or if you are going to work in the insurance kind of projects, in such kind of projects, mostly we are going to use this kind of window functions only. For example, my customer paying premium amount every quarter. For example, if you go to work in the insurance sector, my customer is paying the premium amount for every quarter. For example, like this. Now we are having the data as custody and, for example, premium number. Next, I'm having the premium amount. This is the way, for example, we are having the data and I'm having the same customer, for example, like this. The first quarter he paid the amount. In the second quarter also he paid the amount. In the third quarter also he paid the amount. In the fourth quarter also he paid the amount. For example, in the first quarter he paid, for example, 10,000. In the second quarter, because of some penalty, he paid, for example, 11,000. In third quarter again he paid 10,000. In the Q4, he paid again 10,000. Now, for example, if you go to the insurance sector as a customer, they are going to pay the premium amount for every quarter. Now, for that reason, here we can able to see the same customer ID. Here you can able to see quarter 1 amount, quarter 2 amount, quarter 3 amount, and quarter 4 amount only. Now, my requirement is I want to understand by end of the quarter 4, this customer, how much amount he paid. What we can do here? By end of this quarter, how much amount he paid. What we need to do indirectly? I want to sum up current quarter amount with all the previous amounts, and with that I can able to get in the Q4 how much total amount he paid. In the same way, I want to understand in the quarter 3 how much total amount he paid to the company. What I can do? Current amount with all the previous amounts. In the quarter 2, how much amount he paid to the company. What we can do? Current amount again with all the previous amounts. Now tell me how we can able to get that kind of output here. To perform this operation only, here we are going to use the sum function. But if we are going to use the directly sum function, can we able to achieve our requirement here? No, that's the reason here we are going to use the sum function in the combination of your unbounded or preceding or following. With that, we can able to achieve such kind of requirements only. In the same way, if you are going to the banking sector, if you take any loan, what we will do generally? Every month we are going to pay the EMI. Okay. Now, for example, in the 10th month or 12th month, I want to understand what is the total EMI I paid till now As a business people, he want to understand how we can able to sum up current EMI with all the previous EMIs. Again, we need to go for the window function. Okay, like that. Mostly in the banking applications or in the insurance applications, mostly we are going to use the window functions, and for that reason, we are spending this much of time to understand about all these window functions. Okay, any questions on these three keywords? Please ask me.
Sir, one more time requires I'm getting some confusion because see the preceding zero means it's like it won't take any preceding. So current one it will take.
The preceding zero is nothing but it is considering only current record. Okay.
Current. Yes. So can you go to the Excel sheet, sir, please?
Okay.
Explain there.
Okay. Now see, for example, here I'm giving unbounded preceding. Next I'm giving what? Zero following. We'll take this example first, and I am giving unbounded preceding and zero following. What is the meaning of unbounded? It is going to consider all the previous records. Okay, whenever instead of giving the integer values, if I am going to give the keyword called as unbounded, what it means here, it is going to consider all the previous records. And now here I'm given the unbounded preceding, zero following. What is the meaning of zero following? It is nothing but current record. Unbounded preceding is nothing but it is going to consider all the previous records. Now for the first record, what is going to happen? It is going to consider only current record with all the previous records. But do we have any previous records here? No. For that reason, it is given the total value as only 1000. What about this record?
Current record plus previous record.
Current record plus all the previous records or only previous one record? All the previous, because here we are given the unbounded. For that reason, it is taking current record plus all the previous records. With that, we are getting value as 3000. What about this one?
Same, like current
record with all the previous records, but might be you will get the question, sir, why it is considering all the previous records instead of only one or two? Why it is considering? Because here we are giving unbounded or one. I given the unbounded. For example, instead of unbounded, I'm giving it as a one. Then what will happen?
It will take only the previous.
For 3000, what will happen? It is taking only current record plus only the previous record, because here clearly I'm saying that one preceding, zero following, and for that reason it is considering only one previous record and it is going to consider current record. So with that we are going to get the data. This is the way you need to understand how unbounded, preceding and following are going to work in our SQL statement.
Following means there is no further record, right?
Next record, sorry. Following is the one, it is going to consider the next record. If I'm given the zero following, it is going to consider only current record. If I'm given the one following, what will happen? It is going to consider one next record. Is it clear?
Sir, some blank. Next record, can you tell me the example?
Actually, where is our actual output, sir? 28,000 for all the records.
No,
we haven't discussed it.
No, this is the one only. So comment here, that's the one only we discussed. So are you other people tell me, if you want to get the 28,000, what is the value, what is the thing we have to give here?
Unbounded
Following.
Preceding.
Unbounded following.
Unbounded following. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
So by giving this, what will happen? You can able to get the output for all the records as the same values, because it is going to consider all the previous records and all the current records. With this, you are going to get the output as 28,000. So someone is having the confusion for the next records, and I'm taking that example. See, for example, I'm taking here. I'm giving one preceding, one following. You people try to give the answer. What's the value we are going to get here? I'm giving one preceding, one following. What it means is nothing but sum of one previous record plus one next record plus by default at any point of time it will consider the current record only. So don't get the confusion. If I'm not given the zero following, how it is taking the current record. If you are given the one preceding and one following, what is going to happen? It will take the one previous record. At the same time, it is going to take the one next record. At the same time, by default, it is going to consider the current record. Now you tell me, for the first record, what's the output we are going to get?
3,000.
We don't have any previous record, but we are having the next record. It is going to take the current record plus next record. We are getting output as 3,000. What about next one? You people try to give the answer.
6,000.
Previous record plus current record plus next record, which is nothing but we are getting output as 6,000. What about next one?
9,000.
9,000. Next one?
12,000.
Yes. So this is the way we are going to get. I'm not writing all the output studies, but this is the way you are going to get the output. Otherwise, just
15.
15. 18.
18.
What about last one? We have the
13.
current record, previous record, but do
13.
we have any next record here? No. For
No.
that reason, simply we are getting
13.
output as a 30,000. This is the way. If you are given the one preceding and one following, it is taken the one previous record plus one next record plus current record. That is the way we are going to get the data on top of our output screen. Okay. Still any questions? Please ask me. Okay, after completion of the classes, Andy, so please run all these queries in the BigQuery. So whatever the queries I typed here, please run all these queries in the BigQuery by using our employee main table. And after run the query, don't think that query executed, we are finally, don't think like that. Just to verify how it is given the data, then try to understand the data. With that, you can able to get the clear picture about what is the preceding and what is the following and what is the unbounded. Already in the Excel sheet, I given the around 5 to 6 examples, Andy. Same thing, try to run in the BigQuery console. With that, you can able to get the clear understanding about how all these things are going to work on top of our BigQuery system. Okay, still any questions?
So, so now sum is the function or operator. So if we are asking for the Windows function, can we tell a sum also?
So if we are going to use sum in the combination of preceding and following and over clause, then we can able to call this is the window function. Okay. If I'm using the only sum function without using all these things, then what is the function here? This is normal aggregate function. Now indirectly I can able to say sum is going to work as an aggregate function. Sum is also going to work as a Windows function. If you are using the only sum function, then we can able to call it as a aggregate function. But if we are using the sum in the combination of preceding, following, unbounded and over keywords, Andy, then what we can able to say? Then we can able to say this is nothing but it's working as a kind of a window function. Now you tell me, sum is the window function or aggregate function? It is working as a both. By depending on the way we are writing the query, we can able to call it as a sum is a aggregate function, or we can able to call it as a sum is a window function. Is it clear? Okay. Any other questions still? Okay. If no questions, Andy, just I want to take 2-3 minutes here. After completion of this class, I will send one use case as I told you earlier, Andy, on top of BigQuery. I will send one use case to you. Please work on this use case by today EOD. Trust me, this use case will not take more than 1 or 2 hours if you completed your previous use case, Andy, because in this new use case, are we going to perform any different activity? Whatever the 22 or 23 steps we followed in the previous classes, Andy, same steps we are repeating on the one more use case. Thus, just I'm saying that if you completed your previous use case and if you understood the previous use case end to end, with that understanding, within 1 or 2 hours, we can able to complete the today's use case, whatever I'm going to send to you, Andy. And if you want to do that use case, what you need to understand? You need to understand all the details of the use case. But see, tell me here, if we are going to work in the real time, whether anyone will explain requirements to you, or you need to understand the requirement yourself in the real time. If you're going to work in the real time, did anyone will come into the picture and they're going to explain the requirement, or you need to understand the requirement yourself? Obviously, you yourself has to understand the requirement. That's the reason what I'm going to do here is just I will send the use case, Andy. I am not going to explain anything today. I will send the use case. Please open the use case. Try to understand yourself. With that, try to complete all the 22 steps, whatever we discussed. I'm not trying to scare you, just I'm trying to explain you how we are going to perform in the real time. In the real time, no one will explain the requirements to you. What is going to happen? Simply, they are going to share the transformation rule document. They will ask you to start work on that. So today, what I'm going to do here, I am also going to send the transformation rule document. Already we discussed about how we need to understand about the transformation rule document. In that transformation rule document, what is the content we are going to see? What is the source? What is the confirm zone? What is the semantic zone? What is the confirm zone data set name? How many tables we need to maintain in the confirm zone? How many tables we need to maintain in the semantic zone? All these kind of details I explained as part of our use case 1, Andy. But coming to use case 2, I am going to share the document to you. With that document, you yourself has to understand in this use case, how many tables we need to create, how many schemas we need to create, or how many semantic zone tables we need to create, or how many views we need to create. All that information you yourself has to understand. With that, you can able to easily work in our real-time projects. Andy, just I will show you quickly that one. Okay. So see here, this is the So I will send a zip file to you, or I will send the individual files, and in that zip file or in the individual files, I am going to share total 4 files. Out of 4 files, one document is nothing but our transformation rule document. Now, first, which document you have to open in the real time also? You have to open transformation rule document. If you want to understand the requirement, if you want to understand what activities you want to perform, you need to open the transformation rule document, and please open this document. Try to understand how many files we need to deal, how many tables we need to create, how many semantic zone tables we need to create, how many, whether we need to create the views or not. If you observe here, this one. In this one, I am given the visualization zone tab also, which is nothing but as part of this one, you need to create the views also. Nandi. Already we discussed about the views. We discussed about what is the syntax of the view. So for that reason, I given the transformation rules of the views also. By using this document, try to understand how many views we need to create, how many semantic zone tables we need to create, how many confirm zone tables we need to create, how many files we need to use as part of our requirement. Try to understand all that information by using the transformation rule document. With that, try to complete the use case. Is it fine, or you want me to explain end to end again? You want me to explain end to end?
No, sir. First we try to.
First, we will try to do, then if we don't get, then.
Offline people? Okay. So even if you ask me, yes, please explain, I won't explain, Andy. So because already we discussed about the use case one end to end. Just I'm trying to see your confidence level. That's the reason I raised this question. Okay, don't expect I will explain this one. I will explain. When I will explain, might be in the tomorrow session or day after tomorrow session, I will explain. But don't depend on explanation. Again, I'm repeating the same thing. If you are going to work in the real time, no one is going to explain about the requirements, Andy. You should be in the position to understand the requirement. That's the reason I am trying to ask you the question. Please go through the document, understand the requirement. With that, try to perform all the activities. With that, you can able to face some kind of real time hands-on, Andy. Now, people are asking, as part of Join the course, will you cover real-time examples? What is the meaning of real-time examples? You need to do, or I need to do. You yourself has to do, then only we can able to call it as a, all those are the kind of real-time examples. That's the reason I will share these documents to you. Please complete this assignment by today end of the day. And coming to 11:45, we don't have any class, Andy. So by when I can able to expect this one? Try to send it to me by 2 p.m. Is it fine? Now 10, Andy. So how many hours I'm giving? I'm giving the 4 hours of time to you. Okay, don't think that if I don't have the class, I can able to relax, Andy. That's the reason I'm giving the use case to you. Please complete this use case by 2 p.m. I am only telling it won't take more than 1 or 2 hours if you completed your previous use case, Andy. For that reason, what is the target time I'm giving? 2 p.m. Same way, if you are going to work in the real time, are they going to give the time for 1 month or 2 months? As a lead, he will give the requirement. Simply, he will say within next 2 days, I am expecting the output. Or they will give the requirement and they are going to say in next 3-4 hours, you need to complete all the activities. And just think that I am your team lead. I am given the task to you. You need to complete this task by 2 p.m. Is it fine? Any questions? Any concerns? So many concerns, sir. Okay. So don't have, please perform this activity by 2 p.m. Monday. So with that, what will happen? You can able to get the clear picture. After that, our SQL third assignment also ready. I will share this also in next 1 hour. For this, if you want, you can take time and no issues. But for this use case, BigQuery use case, please complete it by 2 p.m. Is it fine? Okay. Okay, then we'll meet you in the tomorrow session.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, please.
So what happened about one-to-one discussion for online?
One-to-one online people. Oh, okay. Yeah, if possible today, I will connect and you will get the call from the people. Okay, from the admin team, you will get the call.
Okay.
Sir, I
And
have
you
question on
said-
compute engine, sir.
That we'll discuss after, Andy, because I have some other class again now.